Hey guys, what is up today? This is Dalsu with Dalsu Plays, back with some more City Skylines After Dark DLC. And we're trying to complete like a little bit of a square here. I have it in my head that that's going to help any kind of traffic problems. So we're going to make this road bigger. We're going to take out a few buildings as we do it, unfortunately. That's just collateral damage there. What are you going to do? Go ahead and rezone it so they can go ahead and build again. Now, we want some connections, but not too many connections. I think we'll go ahead and connect it there. And that'll do for right now. For right this second, I won't do anything else. We're going to queue up a little bit more industry because that's what they seem to be really demanding more than anything. And I don't know why there's a little bit of a hill here. There are no hills in New Orleans, sir. I don't know who made this map, but... No, I mean, there are some places where there's, like, swamps, so maybe that's supposed to represent a swamp that was drained, which would be accurate. Other than that, there are no real hills. They actually built a hill, the Corps of Engineers, I believe, built a hill in the city zoo, just so local children could experience what it was like to see a hill. Because it's basically flat as a pancake. The whole of South Louisiana is flat as a pancake because it's what you call a delta. You know, it's been flooded with Mississippi floods for thousands of years. I want to say probably hundreds of thousands of years, which has flattened out anything. Now there is a levee that runs along the Mississippi bank, which was built by the Corps of Engineers to keep the river from flooding, and has also been created by silt deposits. So when the city actually flooded during Katrina, the Vieux Carré and most of the stuff that hugged the river, in fact, like this band here, was not flooded. And that's because the Mississippi River, after having deposited silt along its banks for hundreds of thousands of years, had built up the land a little bit. On the other hand, all of this was swamp land until it was drained by a special pump invented by a guy named Baldwin. I think in the early 1800s, I want to say, maybe a little bit mid 1800s, something like that. So this was all a swamp when the city was first founded, and it was drained over decades, and neighborhoods were put there, and so that's why it was so susceptible to flooding from Lake Pontchartrain. History lesson over, and we're going to scan in some more of this industry, I think. This might put a little bit of stress on our infrastructure, but I don't really care that much, because when I can see the stress, I can fix the stress. I'm not equipped to deal with hypothetical road stress. I'd rather know where it is and set my mind to a creative solution rather than try to preemptively do it, I think. Although we try to build with a little bit of intelligence, of course, if we can. Space already occupied. Okay. We'll do like that. We'll fill in this little empty area. Looks like we missed one spot. Not the most efficient pipe layout, but it's New Orleans, so probably appropriate. How's our third dump doing? 6% full. That's not too bad. I'm glad that we've got the garbage more or less isolated on this side. This dump's full. We need incinerators pretty bad, but when do you get incinerators? You need 8,000 people, so we're not there yet by a long shot. Got a ways to go. I suppose all this industry I just queued up is going to create a worker shortage. So we got to start thinking about either maybe doing the Treme up here or doing the Bywater, which we can't buy another piece of property for a while, I don't think. Yeah. So forget about that. We'll probably just do the warehouse slash, this is like getting up into mid-city. The warehouse district actually follows the river. So this is going to be more like mid-city, really, which is mostly just residential neighborhoods for the most part. And Treme is actually one of the most historical African-American neighborhoods in the country. So, what do we want along this main strip here? We might be able to get away with a little bit of commercial, but we're going to run out of workers pretty quickly, I think, if we don't do something about it. But I like to have a little commercial against the major thoroughfares. That seems like a kind of logical, common sense way to do it. I'm not ready to do that part over there yet. Okie dokie, so that looks fine. Why don't we make sure that's got water? Seems to for the most part. A little bit of a dead spot right there in the corner. Alright, so let's lay out some of the Treme area. There actually used to be some huge housing projects, like right in here, and they were very dangerous. I forgot what they called. Were these the Iberville projects, I think? Maybe someone can correct me. I get the project names all screwed up. Anyway, they're gone now. They destroyed them, and they're building like subsidized housing, which is basically a project, but it's nicer than the traditional projects that have been there. Okay, yeah, grow the city. We all about the residential now, huh? So I will give them a strip of area here for their commercial use. It would be nice if I could make this. It must be because it's snapped. Let's do a freeform for a minute. This is all going to be for commercial use, and from there we will have some neighborhoods put into place, I think. That's a little too wide. I don't want to waste that much area. Let's do it like here. And I think I'll turn the snap back on so that maybe it'll kind of quicken this. Yeah. Make them straight from now on. Can't seem to get them evenly spaced, but that's okay. A little bit further. A little bit further. And finish it off. Yeah, we can do that. That's fine. All right, nice little residential sector there. They're gonna have to kind of go down here through this intersection if they want to get to civilization. But I think for now that's fine. We'll see how it goes. And we'll probably go ahead and do a district for this too, just because I like the names showing up more than actually wanting to specifically do any kind of ordinances right at the moment. And this should put us pretty close to getting into the next tier. We need 5,000 people. We should be getting close after this. And I think I'm wanting to give these people a bus stop as well. Could I... Oops. Can I alter this bus stop somehow? I don't know why it wants me to put down whatever this is. Here we go. Okay. I'm going to drag this stop. I'm going to drag it to over here at least. And what's going on here? I don't know why it's doing that. Can you just delete a stop? What if I just press delete? Is that gonna... No, there, right click. Okay. Alright, that looks a little better. I'd like to really drag this one to here. No, that deleted it. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna redo this whole bus route. That's right, I'm gonna redo the whole thing. Cool, so we want to start probably down here on this this main thoroughfare. And we want to come up Canal Street, and then we want to come up way Canal Street, and then probably Rampart Street we'll call this, and up into the Treme, and back out again, and then back onto the main road, cut through the neighborhood here, cut through the French Quarter, back to there, back to there. Yeah, I think that's a good bus route. That should save us a little bit of trouble. A little bit of traffic anyway. Can't wait till we get to like building subways. There's no way a subway could ever exist in New Orleans. As soon as you started digging a hole, it would fill with water. What's going on here? Ah, yeah, the anticipated out of workers. All right, well, hopefully the Treme will provide the workers that we need. Of course, if I hook it up with power, it'll go a lot better, won't it? So let's do that. Just destroyed a building there a little bit unnecessarily, but we'll go ahead and get power. Yeah, okay, it's kind of looking good. I'm starting to get proud of my little place here. A little New Orleans. All these buildings have gone abandoned. Really not enough workers, huh? I should have known. I should have known. It's always a problem when you queue up masses of industry, which is why you want to kind of queue slowly. But hopefully the population will start to... Yeah, it's already growing because of this little area here. I don't know if it'll be enough, though. That was a lot of traffic. Just came through in a big spurt. Traffic seems to be okay. I mean, we're a small city right now. It's not going to be a huge deal yet. It will be soon, though. So the Treme is growing up. We'll probably go ahead and fill in this area as well. For now, we'll just queue up some roads. Thinking like this for the main outline. And probably do some trees and such, like in between the back of these neighborhoods and the highway would look nice. I'm supposed to have the tree brush on, but again, I can never seem to get it to work properly, so excuse my incessant mouse clicking. That looks kind of nice, blocking off that neighborhood. Now, where else should we tie it in? I don't want to tie it in here. I think we'll probably build a road that... You know, this is not quite right, because we need Esplanade. Let's just have Esplanade come up. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Treme. We're going to make you a little bit smaller than we originally intended. I'm going to unqueue that right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend Esplanade. 4-lane road. That would be here. I'm going to extend that up to the highway. And probably what we'll do is elevate the highway and let this run under it. For now, we won't do that, but soon. Why won't you let me do this? Why so difficult? Oh, come on. Really? That's just silly. There we go. Okay. So we've got 2 connections to the main infrastructure. I think that should be fine. Let's go ahead and make sure we've got water. And zone it up. And that should be enough people to get rid of this population problem we're having right now. And maybe get us to 5,000 if we're lucky. Demand is high right now. Hopefully it'll remain rather high. Okay, so let's just watch it grow here for a second. Treme was actually one of the first neighborhoods of freed slaves. Like with their own freed slave church, their own freed slave shops, their own freed slave everything. At least in the southern United States. So it has a really rich history. And if you've ever heard of Mardi Gras Indians, Mardi Gras Indian is a tradition in which African Americans create ornate suits with beads and sequins and stuff. And they dress up like Indians, like Native Americans, on Mardi Gras Day. And they have a very complex structural hierarchy. Like they have a big chief and a flag boy and a spotter, all these kind of different positions. It's basically like a social club in which you dress up for Mardi Gras Day. And they say that originally this started because there was a famine in early New Orleans in the 1700s, and they had to let a lot of the slaves go because they couldn't feed the slaves. So the slaves ran out into the countryside, and who did they encounter but Choctaw Indians? They lived with the Indians for years and years until the settlement finally overcame the famine, at which point the Europeans went and took the African Americans back from their villages and stuff where they had been living. And so the African Americans brought back with them this proclivity for very beautiful, ornate Indian-style dresses and suits, which now can be seen on Mardi Gras Day anytime you're in the Treme. All right, enough history for that neighborhood for the moment. See, we are going to have a problem with traffic here. I knew it. You have a bunch of people coming down here and basically waiting at the stoplight. I don't know how we can fix that, really. We've got to tie in. We've got to tie into this road somehow so that people can be distributed. Maybe this road needs to be a bigger road. Would that work? I mean, I don't see how that would really help that much, but we'll try it. Boom. Maybe that will allow traffic to flow a little bit more quickly because, yeah, they have different lanes for turning different directions. Seems like it should help. It's a major intersection. That seems to be helping a little bit. At least they can kind of turn. Ooh, look at that. That's not good. So you got all these guys wanting to turn left, but they can't. I mean, all I got to do is destroy this, but I want to have that extension available to me at some point. I guess we don't want all these people making a left. Interesting. I don't really know how to go about fixing this. Well, for right now, it's just a band-aid, but we'll get rid of that. And that way there won't be a light there. Yeah, that's a very temporary solution, but I can't think of what else to do with it. Some of this traffic juggling can be difficult. It can be hard. I know it may look easier than it actually is, but yeah, we got tons of abandoned buildings, lack of labor. It happens. Hopefully the people in the Treme will come work here. Man, this is worse than I thought. I accidentally destroyed a road there. Yeah, much worse than I thought. Basically everything. Okay, this is the tedious bit. But you gotta do it, because otherwise stuff won't regrow, you know. I don't know why you built a huge factory in the first place if you didn't have enough people to work in it. You probably should have checked that first. You know. So all these buildings will probably go abandoned as well. What do you mean more residential zones? I've built so many. I guess we'll fill in this area next, most likely. I don't know. Should we connect to this 6-lane road? It might help some of the traffic. What if we do a one-way? Where's the one-way? If we do a one-way coming out, that's going to allow people to get there without necessarily creating a stoplight. We should probably work on some pedestrian paths as well. We did build a nice river walk here, but I don't see a lot of people using it. We could definitely build a walkway that goes along Esplanade. Anyway, we've used up our 20 minutes, mostly talking about historical things, but we also got the Treme sort of started. It's a much bigger neighborhood than that. When I come back, we're going to have to try to fix this population problem. mostly by... I'll probably do a lot of this bulldozing off camera because I know it's not very interesting to watch. It's not very interesting to do either. It's one of the things I don't really like about this game. But it makes up for it in so many ways. I can't complain too much. Although I will, and reserve the right to do so. So thanks for watching. This has been Dalsu for Dalsu Plays, and I'll see you next time on City Skylines. Thanks for watching.